Hi everyone, this is Ryan with OnZap Endurance, and with everything going on in the world, it obviously puts training and racing in proper perspective, but we've been getting a lot of questions from private coaching clients and frankly athletes on the Zap team about what should they be doing with training right now that all the races in the short term are canceled. And from my perspective, I think the goal should be to be ready to race when races start to become available. So, in order to do that in a situation where we don't really know the time frame, what you want to do is kind of revert back to some principles of base training. So, from a workout perspective, that means doing some more moderate workouts, things that are 75 to 80% type of effort, marathon paced tempo runs, light fartlek running. You know, this type of work is going to provide you with a really strong aerobic foundation, but it's also the type of work that you can sustain for a longer period of time. Okay, so when we don't have the time frame, that can be really helpful. Contrast that to something like if you were getting ready for a 5K or 10K and you were doing 5K paced workouts, that type of work is much more time dependent. So you need to know when you're trying to peak in order to implement those types of workouts correctly. Doing too much of those can erode your aerobic foundation and ultimately lead to burnout and poor performance. So we want to avoid those types of workouts for the most part until we know when we're going to be racing. Okay, so one thing you can do to maintain leg speed if you're worried about your speed, you know, get out and do some longer strides once a week, 30 to 45 seconds, you know, 6 to 10 of them. Those can be, I would alternate some weeks between doing them on the flat, doing them uphill, and that's going to really go a long way in helping to maintain and even improve muscle recruitment and running economy. Okay, and if you were getting ready for, if you had a half marathon or a marathon scheduled, you know, in the next few weeks, you've been training really hard, you've been putting in those big long runs that, you know, can take a lot out of you over time. And so what I would suggest for those people is to take 7 to 10 days way back. You know, go run short and easy every other day for a week or a week and a half, just to give your body some rest from that heavy training that you've been doing. And if you're targeting like something later in the spring or maybe in the summer, something longer again, you can get right back into your training. You're not going to lose any fitness, but your body will be fresh and ready to get back into a higher training load. And when you do that, you want to get back to, again, those slower marathon paced tempo runs, light fartlek running, and you want to be careful with those big long runs, okay? So you still want to keep some long runs in the schedule. You know, maybe something like 14 to 18 miles every 2 to 3 weeks. You can even throw in a 20 or a 21 if you enjoy doing them and your training is at an advanced level, you know, every 4 weeks or so. Just make sure that the long runs you're doing aren't specific in nature. So we don't want to be including a lot of hard, faster running within those long runs right now. That will do something very similar to what the 5K type paced workouts do, okay? They take a lot out of you, and over time, they're just really time specific, right? So we need to know what we're getting ready for and peaking for before we start introducing that type of specific work. So get some long runs in, just keep them easy, time on feet running, really work on kind of getting back to the basic principles, and that will put you, I think, in the best position that you can be in to transition back to specific work and get ready for a race once those races become available again. In the meantime, I hope that provides some, you know, general guidance. Obviously, everybody's circumstances are a little bit different, and we're kind of working in uncharted territory here. But again, I hope that was helpful in some general way to everybody, and thanks for watching. Everybody out there, take care, stay safe.